This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Swung on, drive to left field. Did he do it? He did! 4 home runs for Nick Kurtz! He is 6 for 6!
Swing and a drive, deep to left. The A's take the lead in grand fashion.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe from humidors to walk-off dingers.
That's swung at a high, deep drive to right. Smith is back. He will not even watch it. And the A's win it on a walk-off by Nick Kurtz.
We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I hope everybody enjoyed the day off yesterday and you're rejuvenated, ready to go. Yes, this is A's Cast Live, so whether you're watching on the Silver State Sports Network, you're watching on A's Cast, listening on A's Cast, KSTE in Sacramento, the A's Radio Network, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of A's Cast Live as the A's are back on the road, and thank God. It is good that they are back on the road because, man, what a wild 13-game homestand between Vegas and Sacramento. But we knew going in it would be highly offensive on both sides. So we knew the pitching numbers could look really ugly and that the offensive numbers would look really good. And we have all of that for you. But the number one thing is now we get back to playing on the road where actually the A's are a better team on the road. 20-17 on the road. And now you go from highly offensive to a ballpark that is not. So this is what we would call the no excuse 3-game series in San Francisco. This ballpark, and this is partly because the Giants are great offensively, this ballpark has only surrendered 61 home runs this year. That's tied for the least, I should say, with Fenway Park. That's also has something to do with the Red Sox. But just to give you an idea, the A's gave up 30 home runs in 13 games. 30 in 13 games. This ballpark in San Francisco has only given up 61 total for the year. So this is a series that should be called the no excuse series. If you go out and give up home runs and runs in this series, it's time to go, what did you say, Michael Jackson, and I got to look at the man in the mirror.
Good song.
If you remember that. I mean, seriously, I get it. It's tough to pitch in Vegas. I get it. It's tough to pitch in Sacramento. It is not tough to pitch in San Francisco. I was on the very first broadcast ever from this ballpark years and years ago when it was called Pac Bell Park. I was the first, and a lot of people don't know this. I was doing the morning show with Gary Radnich on KMBR. We were the first ever show out of Pac Bell Park. I opened it with a sports update. I know all about this ballpark. Was around it for many, many years. This is a pitcher's park. No excuses. So for Savali, Jump, Springs, and everybody coming out of the bullpen, you got no excuses. You give up home runs here and you give up a ton of runs here, man, you won't have the kid gloves you've been getting from us. You got to start holding yourselves to a standard. And there's too many excuses being made because the other teams are playing in the ballparks too. And what we saw, I mean, and look at so many of these home runs. You look at pitch location. I mean, take the Neto pitch thrown by Alvarado that we lost on the last game on Sunday. That was dead red. It was up and a little bit in, and he smoked it. Why? Because it was a bad pitch. So as much as you want to blame the environment, Where you're putting the ball, location is one of the reasons why you're giving up so many home runs and so many runs. Right?
Yeah, and I mean Neto's already notoriously been an ace killer, especially this season.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of the pitches were middle or up in the zone where guys
I don't want excuses. Go look where these pitches are. Go look where when Springs throws the ball and the ball's getting hit out and he's putting his hand over his head. Oh, no.
That happened multiple times the other day.
You had it twice. No excuses. Were there some cheapies in Vegas? Yeah. But look at the locate. You're getting beat on location.
And with Springs, he's given up the most home runs in baseball. So it's wasn't just his week in the last game.
He better not Thursday, but it'll be a day game. So, I mean, I'm trying to tell, I don't want to hear the excuses. And I don't want to hear, well, Thursday in San Francisco, it was a little bit warmer because it's a day game. I don't care. It's still a pitcher's ballpark. Look at the numbers. No excuses for this pitching staff during this homestand. Because if you want to be a playoff team, you got to win at home. You have to win at home. That's just a reality. You have to be able to win at home. You know what I was saying about Cody, and this may be a horrible. By the way, who do we got today? We're going to have Fran Riordan, the first half champ, manager of the Las Vegas Aviators. Love to have Fran. He'll be here at 4:45. One of my all-time favorites who I covered, and I've now worked around for many, many years, a colleague because he does Giants, I do A's. Rich Aurilia. Rich Aurilia, an all-star, was a great shortstop for the Giants for many years. Rich Aurilia is going to stop by today. He's in studio. He'll be doing a Giants pregame live. We call our pregame A's Cast. But Rich Aurilia will stop by. Love me some Rich Aurilia. And then Johnny Dot, was it Hot Take Tuesday?
It is, yeah.
Why don't you remind everybody else but me?
Because I forget until the day of, too. And then I'm like, oh, it is Hot Take
But
Tuesday.
then you remind Johnny.
Oh, I texted him today, too.
You didn't text me.
I know. I should have put you guys on a group chat.
So now I got to come up. I've literally less than an hour to come up with a hot take and do the show.
You have time.
Wow.
You're good at that.
You remind Johnny Dosco, but you don't remind me.
Well, you have to remind Johnny everything.
Yeah. Well, hey, memo to you. Can you help remind me so I know? So now I have to figure one out because my Henry Bolte 8 home runs by the All-Star break's not looking good.
We had 2.
Does he have 2?
No, he had 1. He had the 1. Yeah, I forgot he had the 1 before that.
Still
got 7. Still got a chance.
I need 7.
We go back to sack next week.
I need 7 more. Before we get Fran on, do we have the Colby Thomas?
Oh, I got to get that.
Colby Thomas was awarded the play of the week. The play that he made on Sunday against Joe Odell was spectacular. And it was awesome that he robbed Odell because Odell's been robbing people all year long and really the last 2 years. He is a terrific outfielder with his size, his ability to jump, and what he's been able to do. He robbed 3 home runs in one game.
Correct, yes.
So here it is. If you're listening, I apologize, but to give your body up, to have the awareness, to know where the dirt is, to jump, and to land the middle of your back on the wall, I don't know why we don't make that wall higher. I just don't know why we don't do that. And to land your middle of the back and to still contort your body like that and to still hold on was amazing. So in the last 2 years, how many plays of the week do we have? Because I want to say at least 2 or 3 we had last year for Denzel Clark.
Yeah, he's the 11th award for the A's since the inception in 2019. That's tied for 4th most among all clubs. He's the 7th player to win it. Denzel Clark won it 4 times last year.
4 times? Yeah. So we've won it 5.
All in June.
So we've won 5.
Just in the last year.
5 in the last year. Colby Thomas, good on you. That was absolutely fantastic. Quickly on the 13-game homestand, which you have to remember, this was 16% of the home schedule. That's a lot. They went 7-6. Offense spectacular, 7 runs a game, 91 runs for the homestand, 33 home runs, 61 extra base hits, a 904 OPS. Absolutely off the charts. The offense, and this is what you need to do, right? If you're going to play in a highly offensive environment, this is what they weren't doing earlier. If you're going to play in a highly offensive environment, well, you know what? You should put up a ton of runs, and they did that.
Yeah, and they went from, because we've always been told by our general manager, David Forrest, that the ball go far, team go far, and we're a team built on slug. And the past month, we've seen the A's shoot up in the leaderboard in home runs. I believe the other night we were tied for second most of the Dodgers and White Sox, trailing only the Yankees. So what the A's have been able to do with the long ball, Nick Kurtz has 9 in the month of June. I was like, I wonder what the all-time record is for home runs in June. I looked.
Sammy Sosa, right?
He has no shot. The record is Sosa with 20.
I remember that. Wait, was that 90?
Yeah, well, it could have been 98.
7 or 98.
98 was the home run race, so I think it was that year. But the all-time franchise record is Bob Johnson, 15. He has a shot at that one.
20 home runs in a month.
Yeah. I remember it was 2001 when Bonds and Gonzo, Luis Gonzalez had the home run race that they were having, and I think Gonzo had like 13 in April. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then
is that when Gonzo had 57?
Yeah, and Bonds hit 73.
20 home runs in a month.
It's insane. But 15, franchise record's 15, Bob Johnson.
Well, what has Schwarber's got 28 right now? 29, 28?
Oh, that's what he has already? Wow. I haven't, sorry, on my Phillies.
Yeah, my fight and Phils, my Don Mattingly Phillies. I think Schwarber's got 28 or 29 right now.
Schwarber, 29 homers.
29 home runs, not even in July yet.
29 homers and 52 runs batted in.
Well, put it this way.
A lot of solo homers.
Put it this way. We're, a couple days from the halfway point.
I believe Wednesday was
Schwarber, it's another home run. He's halfway to 60. And that's what's kind of sad, and I'm not going to get into it, but that's what is sad about the McGuire, Bonds, these guys getting to 70 home runs, Sosa getting, hitting over 60 home runs. Did you do it 4 times or 3 times?
It was 3.
3 and 4 years. Yeah. Is that you've had legit guys do it now, right? Aaron Judge. I mean, guys to really break Roger Maris's record, to really do it. Like clean, where you believe they're clean because they're all getting tested. So you believe they're clean. And Schwarber would be another guy that would have a shot at it. I mean, he hits another one the next couple days, he'll have 30 at the halfway point. So I want to say for us, the halfway point is Thursday day game in San Francisco.
Correct. So Schwarber with 29. If he gets to 60, that'd be back-to-back years with 60 homers because obviously Raleigh did it last year, and Schwarber hit 50 last year. So. Yeah. Schwarber's on a nice little run with the Phillies last couple years.
The pitching, we gave up 30 home runs in 13 games, hit 33 home runs, but gave up 30 home runs in 13 games, an ERA of 7.21. 7.21. Starters ERA 7, relievers ERA worse at 7.45. Bullpen ERA in the month of June, 6.55.
Second worst in baseball. I think only the Twins have a worse.
It's hard to believe. It literally, since I'm not watching Twins baseball, it is hard for me to believe.
And they're playing better too.
There could be a team that has a worse ERA than us in the last 13 games. And after watching what we watched, we gave up 2 touchdowns and a safety on that Sunday in Vegas.
Yes, and the Twins are climbing themselves back in the AL Central, but their bullpen has been.
They lost to the Dodgers yesterday, 2-1 in a pitcher's duel.
Their bullpen is, it's crazy to think, but they're the only team that has a worse bullpen ERA and all, not just the American League, in Major League Baseball.
It's hard to believe. Yeah, but here's the good news: we're a different team on the road. We're a different team. We have the 4th best road ERA. And it's like the teams that you were like, really? 2nd best in the American League, 4th best in baseball. So you're looking at Yankees, Dodgers, Braves, us. So on the road, outside the highly offensive environment, we're a regular team and we went on the road. 20-17, we pitch better on the road. And just as important, we play much better defense on the road. Far less errors on the road than we do at home. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. 8 errors is the fewest in Major League Baseball on the road this year. That's the A's.
Yeah, I think the next closest is 11. So
it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We're like the Houston Oilers of back in the day that played in the Astrodome.
Warren Moon.
Any of those Oilers, like the Oilers were hell on wheels at the Astrodome. Then you'd get the Oilers You'd have the Oilers go and play on the road, and you have the Oilers go play in the snow, and they were shells of themselves, right? Because that run and shoot did not work once you got into cold weather. I mean, so it's like it's almost – I don't know if this is a fair analogy. That's why I'll ask Fran Riordan because he's far smarter than I am. He's from Buffalo, by the way. Well, hold on. Before I get to Fran, I want to make this point. We got to figure out, kind of like a dome team. Dome teams can't run in football, can't run the same offenses once they go to it. It's a lot of the same playbook, but you don't have the same game plan when you leave the dome and you go play in the East in November and December when it's cold and you start to see snow. So when Fran Riordan's jumping off the bus onto the table, it used to be at Rich Stadium. Was their old stadium?
No, I'm talking because Highmark's a new one, I believe. And
yeah,
I think it opened it today. I think they're opening it today.
It was Rich Stadium where the Bills play. So when Fran was jumping onto a table and breaking tables and during the snow, he would know. Bring Fran on. He would know. Fran, will you back me on this? If dome teams, was it Rich Stadium?
It used to be Rich Stadium. Now it's Highmark.
Okay, so back in the day when like the Houston Oilers or anybody would come out of the dome and you'd go to like Lambeau Field or you go to Buffalo and you'd play in the snow, you couldn't run the same offense because the environment's different. I'm like saying for the A's, whether, we played in Vegas, all about that, but playing in Sacramento, obviously you've managed teams there for many years. It's so highly offensive. It's different than what the A's are doing on the road. Is it possible, like a football team, to kind of have a different strategy, or I don't know exactly how to put it because you don't have a different game plan. It's not like football that way, but just a different mindset of got to play like this in Sacramento, but then when we go on the road, we got to play like this. Is it possible to do that in baseball?
I think it is, but your team is what it is. Your roster is what it is, and each individual player has different skill sets. And we hit a lot of home runs. The A's hit a lot of home runs on the road at home, and that's a huge part of their offense. But again, you can definitely try different things. Can definitely try to play small ball. Depending on where you're playing, adjust accordingly. But your roster is your roster, and these guys are big leaguers for a reason because of the individual skill sets they have. And a lot of the guys that are in our lineup on a night-to-night basis, hit the ball over the wall. And most of it could happen in Las Vegas, could happen in Sacramento, it could happen in Los Angeles. It doesn't really matter because when they hit them, they go.
Well, he needs no introduction. He's the leader of men, and all he does is win, and he has won the first half. Once again, the great Fran Riordan is with us here on A's Cast Live. How good does that make you feel to know that we have taken so many of your players? You've had to adjust when it comes to pitching. You've had so many staff games this year. You've weathered that storm. You've won the first half, and you guarantee yourself a chance at winning it all by getting into the postseason. How does that make you feel at this point?
Well, it's pretty special. The roster changes, the personnel going up and down and everywhere in AAA. That's never going to change. That's a part of the job. That's what we deal with. And it doesn't matter what organization it is, it just happens. And the fact that we were able to persevere and grind out the wins that were necessary, there are so many great individual and team performances that, it's really gratifying and rewarding when we were the last team standing at the end of the half. And, we finished 15 games over 500. And our bullpen did a fantastic job. And there's so many games where the bullpen covered innings that we desperately needed, and guys were efficient, and guys gave us length that we didn't expect, that just really kind of had the flow match what we were doing offensively, which is the top team in all of AAA offensively.
A mentality of, I don't care who's here, but when you are here, you're going to play like this. What is it like establishing that? Because that's got to be why you're winning, because the movement of all the human beings up and down and up and down, the people change, the uniform doesn't. So what is that like to be able to say, listen, this is how we play. When you're here, this is how we perform, and this is how we play?
Well, I mean, I think the consistency of the messaging from our major league staff that most of the guys that are here, heard for 6 weeks in spring training. The guys that weren't there that have come up from AA, I think you have to give credit to Gregorio Petit for having those guys ready to come up and play the brand of baseball that is to be expected not only here but at the major league level. And then you give credit to our player development system and our front office for identifying and signing the players and furthering that messaging in minor league spring training, at the minor league affiliates, and the whole cliche of it takes a village. It takes quite a large village to breed success in the minor leagues, have that same kind of mentality and culture in the major leagues, and have the communication be such that it's an expectation for these guys. So it's not as hard as you would think, but letting them know that there is an expectation, not only at the major league level, but at the AAA level and down, is, I think, very important. But I believe everybody in an organization knows what that expectation is. And, sometimes you have to remind guys, but they're pretty much on board with it as well.
Well, we were there for an entire week, and I got to tell you, your village is pretty nice. That village you got going there, the ballpark, and then we stayed at the Red Rock Casino Hotel. The digs are pretty good. Your village doesn't suck, Fran.
No, it's a pretty bougie place to be. It's a great stadium. It's a great area. It has everything that you need to be successful as a player. There's a lot of support from the front office at the Aviators, and it just is a very just warm, welcome place for guys to work towards being their best selves on any given day, and that's the goal, and that's a big reason that I think the guys do well there, and they're comfortable there, and they're confident there, and they take that comfort level and confidence up to the A's, and more often than not, it has translated, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help guys get prepared to help the A's win, and there's nothing more rewarding than to see guys go up and do really well.
I've never been to that ballpark, and you're not there, so it was tough being there for a week. But the good news where they had us on our perch at that level, there right across the glass, we saw a big picture of you on the wallpaper. So even though you weren't there physically, you were, every single time I looked up, you were right there in front of us. You were with us in spirit. And I was thinking of you on the day off. We went to Caesar's Palace, because the last time I was at Caesar's was with you at Peter Luger's. We went into the Speakeasy to do a yacht rock concert at Caspin's? It was Caspin's. And I was thinking about you at Caesar's Palace.
What a great spot. What a great dinner we had. As far as the mural is concerned, I had to put that up for you just so you'd have a life-size reminder of, my presence at that stadium. I wasn't sure they were going to get it up in time, but I'm glad they did.
You literally are everywhere. You go into the press box, there's pictures of you everywhere. I mean, what's it like going to the Fran Cathedral every day? I mean, that place is just everywhere you go, it's about you.
Well, it's not in my office or the clubhouse or the dugout. It's about everybody else. And I don't spend a lot of time up there in the cathedral that you're talking about. I've been there a long time. I've managed every game for the Aviators since they started in 2019.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud to call Las Vegas my home.
Well, there was a lot of talk while we were down there, just to kind of let everybody know about the job that you and your staff do. Because, yes, in the end, you want to win games. But also the job is, when we send guys down to rehab or we send guys down who are struggling, your job is to kind of like fix them to get them back. And everybody kept talking about you and your staff are truly some of the best, if not the best in all of AAA, because we've seen you improve players. Just kind of give some love to your staff about how you're able to help guys get better. And it's more than just physical. It's the mental side. I think that's what makes you so great. But what your staff does to help players, give them some love, because it's been really impressive to watch over the years.
Well, I think our whole staff takes that guidance to get them back ready, whether it's a rehab situation or, a performance situation, back ready to compete at the major league level. And there's sometimes some kicks in the butt, like, hey, you're not here to sulk. You're not here to, regret not being in the big leagues. You're here to get better. You're here to improve. You're here to get back to the big leagues. And, Paul Abbott, our pitching coach, and Don Schulze, our bullpen coach, Brian McCarn, who's been with me for so many years with the A's at this level for so many years, our hitting coach, and Kevin Kuzmanoff, our assistant hitting coach and base running coach, Stephen Thayer, our sports performance coach, our two trainers, Jake and Eric. They just do a fantastic job of making it so that it's an easy transition, coming back to AAA for each individual department, but working on individual things with individual players that have been communicated to us from the major league staff, the front office, whatever the case may be, and really focusing on not letting them, waste time with negative mental energy, negative mindsets. It's a get back to work mentality. It's a get back up off the mat mentality. It doesn't matter how many times you've been punched, you get up and you keep swinging. And they're all, cliche metaphors and things that you would assume happens at the AAA level, but there's also different messages for each different player to try to reach them. And all you can do as a coach at this level is to try to make that messaging consistent, sincere, and have it match up to the personality of the player, have it match up to what the organization is looking for from that player. And that's our goal. That's our goal every day. That's our goal every day with guys coming down. That's our goal with the guys that are here that maybe haven't been up. That's our goal with guys that come from AA, is to let them know what the standard is, keep consistent with what our standard is, and, take them to task if they're not meeting that standard. And a lot of it, like you said, isn't a physical thing. There's 28 men on this roster right now that all have the talent to play in the major leagues. It is what we can do, not only with the talent they have, with whatever mechanical issues they're working on, but getting their mindsets to a place that frees them up to get to that level of being a productive big leaguer again.
The leader of men, Fran Riordan, manager of the Aviators. You've won the first half. You'll have a chance to defend your title and win it all. Thank you so much. We always appreciate it, buddy, and we will talk to you soon.
Always a pleasure, Towny. Thanks for having me.
Love me some Fran Riordan. Coming up next, Rich Aurilia, all-star shortstop for the Giants. Now he's a part of the NBC family. We'll talk about A's and Giants next, right here on A's Cast Live.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'sCast. That's athletics.com/A'sCast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live, pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'sCast today.
When it comes to knocking it out of the park, nobody beats Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is an 8-time Triple Crown Award winner, Ford Motor Company's highest honor for being the best in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Step up to the plate for our biggest selection of new Ford models, including the legendary F-150, on sale now. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters in the Folsom Auto Mall. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. A's fans, create family traditions every Sunday at the ballpark starting at just $99. Our family 4-pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 bags of chips or popcorn.
On the way, swung on and drilled to left, way back. A Rosarena will watch it fly.
Fans can enjoy exclusive items for kids and families at select Sunday matchups. Secure your family 4-pack today at athletics.com/tickets.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more.
Here's the pitch, and it's a hit. Folsom Lake Ford has stepped up again, winning the Triple Crown Award, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, now 8 years in a row. Folsom Lake Ford is a top sales leader in the U.S., along with being top in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Now that's a home run. Don't miss the huge savings on your favorite models at your truck headquarters. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall.
Grab your A's single game tickets now. Tickets are now available for the 2026 season. Can't miss matchups, exclusive giveaways, and our must-see post-game fireworks shows are just a click away. Find your seats today at athletics.com/tickets.
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, whenever you can sit down with St. John's greatness, a Johnny. Yes, he was an all-star for the San Francisco Giants. He was a terrific shortstop in his era, and he's on the Giants Wall of Fame. He now does Giants pre- and post-game show for NBC. Rich Aurilia, it's great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. With that intro, I almost turned around and looked for Chris Mullen in the background.
That was really cool when we were watching the tournament and you and Mully together, and you're like, okay, this is a basketball Hall of Famer.
So cool.
This is one of the best guys, because I got to cover Rich Aurilia early in my career when I was at KMBR, but it was like watching you two, and you're going, these are two, you guys are you in a St. John's Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So you're both St. John's Hall of Famers.
We are. There's some others that are like Frank Viola went there, so he's in the Hall of Fame, and so they have a good track record of getting good athletes out of Jamaica, Queens.
Well, and I'll tell you what, now you got Patino, who I how old is he? And he signed like a 5-year extension.
I mean, I got to take some of what he's taking, because he's 73, and I went to the tournament game this year in San Diego, and that guy is on his feet the whole game, walking up and down in his suit. I mean, I need some of that energy at his age, 73. And he got a 5-year extension.
Oh, good for him. The program is back. Father's Day was on Sunday, so happy belated Father's Day. If people don't know, both his kids are professional golfers now.
Yeah.
So not baseball. We always talk about, hey, this guy, his dad was it. No, professional golfers.
It's great, man. And I actually am so happy that it's not baseball. I did baseball my whole life. They played up until a certain age, and they came to me and said they didn't want to play baseball anymore. They wanted to play golf. So I totally embraced that. And I said, as long as you commit to it, I'll support you in whatever way I can. And now they're both, trying to make their way onto Corn Ferry Tour and playing different events. And I get, the great opportunity to go out and visit them. I was in Mexico City a couple of weeks ago with one of my sons, and I'll probably head up to Canada here sometime over the summer to watch one of them play.
What is that like? Outside the ropes, the pressure. It's not college. One was USC, one was Arizona. It's not college anymore. It's now pro. They're trying to make a living. Kind of like what a dad's like in the stands, like your father watching you play. Like, what is it like as a dad watching your children try to be successful professional athletes?
It's a little nerve-wracking, because like you said, with golf, of course you go out to try and win, but like you got to make the cut first.
Yeah.
So like that's the first thing. So like the first round is always very important. You can't win on the first day, but you could definitely knock yourself out of contention on the first day. But for me, it's great. I know the game of golf well enough, but not well enough where I could talk to them about their swings. But I could definitely help them with their mental aspect of how they approach their game out there and how to approach certain situations. So it's great, man. I love it. I hope they could do this forever and make a career out of it. But for right now, we're just following day by day and seeing where it takes them.
All right. So for the Giants, it seems like a mess from afar, right? We're not around it. But for you, who's around it, just what is it like right now for the Giants? We're almost at the halfway point.
Yeah. I think everybody got really excited in spring training because they played really well in the spring, and there was a renewed sense of getting back to the fundamentals of baseball, which is getting guys over to third with less than 2 outs, bunting guys over, stealing some bases. I think they did all that in the spring. But as soon as the season started, I mean, it just got off to such a bad start. The first month, it was the offense. Nobody was hitting. Nobody from 1 through 9. And the bullpen was doing great. Then you get to the next month, and then the bullpen starts to falter, and some guys start hitting, and then the rotation kind of falters a little bit. So it's been a combination of everything involved. But I think for me, the main thing that has been their Achilles heel has been that bullpen, because they don't have, I don't think they have a go-to guy every game if you have a lead late where you're like, okay, this guy's going to lock it down. And, and then you look at their record now, I think they're 15 under 500, and really nothing's gone well for them, for the majority of the year.
We want to talk to you about Nick Kurtz. And it's not fair to compare Nick Kurtz to Barry Bonds in any way, because you played with him. I got to cover him. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen. It's not even close. But Nick Kurtz is doing things that puts him in the conversation with Bonds because of on bases. He's leading baseball in on base. He's leading in RBIs. We're seeing these things, these on base streaks. We're already seeing pitchers. They're scared to pitch to him. Obviously, it's like, hey, if let somebody else beat you, walk them. So what Greg Maddox always said, there's 27 ounces and Bonds isn't one of them. So I don't know how much you've seen of Nick Kurtz, but I want you to talk about your time, because you played for so long with Barry Bonds, and you had arguably your best year hitting in front of him, kind of the Barry Bonds effect and kind of what we're seeing, the Nick Kurtz effect on the rest of the lineup.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that, I would say is, watching Nick Kurtz is just the amount of poise for such a young guy, right? He's only been in the league for not even 2 years yet. And to see the numbers he's putting up. And for me, when I watch, you bring up the Bonds comparison. It took Barry a long time to learn how to not go out of the strike zone. And what I mean by that is, if it's a 3-1 count, with a guy on third, he would chase a pitch to try and drive him in, as opposed to taking his walk and letting the guy behind him, pick him up. I feel like at an early age, Kurtz has a really good knowledge of the strike zone, which is why I think he has that on base streak. Because you're not going to hit in 48 straight, but you're going to get some walks in there.
Yeah.
And the effect that has now on the rest of your lineup, because I hit in the bottom of the order the beginning of my career, and then I got moved up to the 2 spot hitting in front of Bonds in 2001, and I saw way different pitches than I did hitting 7th or 6th. And what I mean by that is, it wasn't like I just got fastball. It's like you'd get a first pitch, just get it over breaking ball to see if they could get ahead of you. And I just started looking for it, and you just jump on it. And those hanging breaking balls go out of the park pretty quick, which is kind of nice, but you do get pitched differently. So I think something to watch with the A's moving forward is, who hits in front of him? How is that affecting the guy in front of him? Because the guy behind him, they don't want him. You have those meetings. Who doesn't beat us today? Nick Kurtz doesn't beat us today. So you got to see how he affects everybody else in the lineup. But he's a good cornerstone for this A's club right now. And it's kind of nice for me, because thinking back to not my childhood, but when I was high school or college and watching the Giants A's rivalry, you had Mark McGwire and you had Will Clark. I mean, that was awesome. 2 of the best players in the game at the time. And now you got Bryce Eldridge, who's starting to play every day and get hot, and you got Kurtz. I know the team's moving, but there's still that little rivalry, from the Bay Area. So it'll be fun to watch both of those guys and how their careers progress from here on out. But Kurtz has been unbelievable his first two years in big leagues.
I had no idea when we were in Orlando for the winter meetings what Tony Vitello, because obviously Bob Melvin's a friend of mine. I've known Bob for a long, long time. I didn't want to see Bob go. But now here comes Tony, and I did a little research on him, and everybody loved him, and we had him on, and he was fantastic. And then up in Sacramento, he came back on the show again in Sacramento, and he was great. I mean, I like him, and everybody talks about a good dude. It just seems like he's in the and everybody was going to play. It's a college guy coming up, but it just seems like this has not been a good. No matter what he does, he's in a situation that's not really where he's going to win.
Yeah, I agree with you. And first of all, I went to camp this spring for a week, and I got to talk to Tony a lot. And I'm with you. I like him. He's a good guy. He's a likable guy. I just think the transition of going from a college coach where you have a bunch of kids that you go recruit and their families, meet you and they're like, okay, you're going to have my kid for the next however many years. And you could basically tell that kid, hey, I need you to do this, go do that. And the kid does it, right? Get to the big leagues. You're dealing with a lot of egos, a lot of guys that have been around for a while, a lot of people that make a lot of money. It's a hard transition, especially for a guy who never played at this level or never played at the minor league level. So, I think coming into the season, I think he had, and you could see it now, he had sort of a flawed, parts of his team, like the bullpen. And you could see that he's trying to find roles for these guys, but nobody's really stepping up and taking it. So in a way, as just a person who likes to, I feel bad for Tony because he's had to deal with a lot of stuff in the first 3 months of his managing career. And I don't think you've seen some of the videos when he was at Tennessee. I don't think we've seen the true Tony Vitello yet, because when you see him there, you see a different version of what you see managing
completely
here.
Different
completely
guy.
Different. And I think, maybe that changes next year. Maybe he's looser and gets to know people better. I don't expect him to jump into the stands with the fans when they win a big game, but you like to see that enthusiasm.
Why not?
Yeah, well, you like to see that enthusiasm and the emotion come out and be there, especially for a guy that was brought here to kind of change the culture of this team with his managerial skills. So remains to be seen. It's been a tough start for him, but I pull for the guy because I just like him.
Yeah, and everybody likes him. That's the thing. And so when you got, and he's a smart guy. We'll see. I mean, he's got a nice contract. He's not going anywhere. It'll be interesting. Football, basketball, far different with star players. If you're in football, it doesn't matter how big a star player you are, coaches will still rip your ass. I mean, you'll see it on the sidelines. I worked for the Raiders for years. You'd see it on the sidelines. It didn't matter how much money you made. They would get Baseball's different. How hard is it when a guy has big time money and he's got that big time security? How hard is it? I'm not going to say discipline, but to really ride a guy, to really get on a guy when a guy has that kind of money, and he's got to really, when you give a guy that kind of money, he's got power.
He definitely, guys definitely have power, guys that sign these big contracts. And I think you have to, as a manager, you have to treat each one of those guys differently because they're all different personalities. They're all from different parts of the, either the country or different countries, and they have different philosophies and beliefs. So it is a hard thing. And I've learned this from my buddy, Dave Roberts, who is managing the Dodgers now for years. We have conversations sometimes. He's like, Richie, it's not always about managing the game itself, because there's only going to be certain situations where my decisions as a manager are going to come out and, help us win or lose a ball game. He goes, you got to manage personalities and you got to manage people. And when you have 26 different players in there from 26 different places with, different accents and different languages, he goes, you have to manage people. And he goes, that's where I feel like I've gotten better at as the years have passed for me being a manager at the Dodgers. And, and you look at that team, it's a high priced team, guys that are veterans, right? And it's almost like you could just pencil them in and just go ahead, go play. And then we'll see what decisions have to be made during the game. So I think that's part of this new era of baseball and players and coaches is you got to manage the players and the people more probably in the clubhouse and off the field than you have to do on the field.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes on. They're human beings, right? Guys have issues that are going. They have issues just like we do, just like you do out there. And you don't hear that, but that's what I always say. The guy that is at the front of the plane, the front of the bus, he's got a lot of things that he's got to deal with, and it's just not X's and O's. It's just not data and baseball. Dave Roberts, a great example, because Dave Roberts wasn't that long ago. Everybody's like, he needs to be fired. He can't win.
Yeah.
He can't do this. And now everybody's like, oh, he's a future Hall of Famer.
Yep. And, I look back to my career, and I look at when I had Dusty Baker, right? And we'd go on our flights, whether we're going to a city or coming back home, whatever. And Dusty would walk up and down that aisle on the plane and just sit with a guy for like 20 minutes. And, hey, man, tomorrow's a day off. What are you doing? What are you doing with your family tomorrow? And then you go to the next guy and be like, hey, did you go anywhere good to eat on the last road trip? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm always looking for. So Dusty kind of I never understood it at the time.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and now that I see it, and now that I played for 15 years, you see how some of these managers try and just get in personally, because if and I knew this about Dusty. He could be your best friend. But guess what? He could also stick his foot where he needed to stick it if you were, out of line. And I respected that. And I think nowadays, we don't see that as much in the game. But I think Dave's done a really good job of doing that. And I played for Bomel. Bomel was like that too when I played for him in Seattle. Yeah, man. So you take the guys you played for and you try and translate into today's game. And, I played for Boch too. And Boch was a different type of communicator. So you take it for what it's worth, but I think each guy has to treat each player, on their own, with their own personality and how they treat them on a day-to-day basis.
If you get that trust, then you can kick somebody in the ass.
Yes. I remember I got a story. I remember I was the best year of my career, 2001. We just played the day before. We're in Wrigley, and we won the game the day before, and we had a day game the next day. And I think I was 3 for 4 with a homer the day before. And Dusty called me in there because there was a double play, and I don't think we got the guy at first. And he called me in there, and he's like, "Hey, are you afraid of getting taken out?" Because that was before all these new rules where you can't touch anybody. And I'm like, "No, man." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. I heard somebody say you're afraid to get taken out." I'm like, "When have I ever not hung in there?" So that was his way of somehow motivating me or getting me fired up or something. And, it got me fired up, man. I remember walking out there going, what's he calling me in there for, dude? I'm hitting 340 and I'm playing great. And what is he calling me for? But he must have saw something that I needed to get fired up and get going. And it did. It got me going.
I love it. I love it. You guys are on today. Have a good broadcast. How's the golf game, by the way? How's your kids? How's your golf game?
It's hard. When you play for so long and then you don't play for a little bit, my handicap's stuck where it's at right now, and I'm probably about 4 shots over that right now because I haven't played too much this summer.
So you're not the 30-plus home run Rich Aurilia on the golf course?
No. I'm like the end of the 250 hitter with 12 homers and whatever right now. But
slapping it around.
I got to get back out there and then start playing a little bit more.
Well, you're fabulous on TV. You were always good to me years ago when I was on KNBR. I've always had a ton of respect for your career as a player and off. Thank you for taking the time. Good luck to the kids as
Anytime.
Pros. Hopefully
you.
They're making checks.
Well, I hope so, because I know where it's coming from right now.
Maybe one day. I mean, when you watch, just think about maybe someday, when you're thinking about the U.S. Open and Shinnecock, that may be you someday.
God, I hope so. And I better be soon. I ain't getting any younger.
The great Rich Aurilia right here on A's Cast Live. We appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Johnny Dasco is going to join us coming up here. Hot Take Tuesday, as we'll have a hot take coming up for you as we'll be back coming up here. What time are we on NBC? They're on an hour ahead. They're on a half hour.
We're on
at
6.
We're on at 6?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be on NBC at 6 o'clock. And that'll be good stuff as we'll Shooty Babbitt will be joining me. Hadn't seen Shooty in a while since he showed up to Sacramento for those 3 days. But Shooty Babbitt will be here and we'll get you. It's 45 minutes, so we'll be on. Hot Take Tuesday. I have a hot take. I don't know how hot it is. I really you didn't give me time. You got to start prepping me. I just came up with it because, I've been talking the whole time. You want me to think of a hot take because I'm talking the whole time?
It's hard to come up with them anymore because I try to build mine off of how Johnny does it, because Johnny's one of those, let's do it based off of the game and the A's, and that's kind of where I'm going. I'm kind of stealing Johnny's thunder on some of this stuff. Hopefully Johnny, he said he would do his best to join us, so we'll see.
Okay, so what I have gathered, whether some of you out there, like our fans watching in Vegas, don't care. And I know a lot of our fans back here in Northern California, you don't care, like what's going on with the Giants. You're like me, and Giants losing is just a win for everybody. It's just like a nice piece of cake with some espresso. It just makes you feel great. The Giants being, but what I'm hearing, and I'm getting a lot of it from in here. So if you don't know where the hell we are, we're in the studios, the NBC studios, NBC Sports, Bay Area in California, which, by the way, NBC Sports Bay Area, 32-point-something% of it is owned by the San Francisco Giants. So where we are is where they do Warriors, Kings, Sharks, Giants, A's, and then they have a 49er pre- and post-game show here. I'm telling you, the Giants are a dumpster fire. It's like they've got the whole thing that happened with Pride. Major League Baseball's involved. Now the Department of Justice is involved. It's just not bad baseball. Hey, bad baseball is bad baseball. We've been around it. We've had it. We just had it, right? When you got bad play, when you don't have great players, you're going to have bad years. But you don't want to have like total chaos around you at the same time. You want to still be building towards something, and you move players out, move players in, you try and find something. Right now, the Giants, on and off, it sounds like just a disaster. Buster Posey, disaster. He came in as this guy, like, I won 2 World Series, I won 3 World Series, and I'm the guy, and he takes over, and it's like, oh, the Messiah is here, and you're realizing he's not that guy. And he did a press conference today, and he didn't say anything or help out himself.
So today, Buster did a thing with the local Bay Area media scrum in the Giants dugout at like 2 p.m. And a lot of people,
the old media scrum,
people wanted to hear what he had to say about the whole. If you didn't see on the last game of this series against the Marlins where they got swept in South Florida, Sunday afternoon, Rafi Devers got on base, and he brought in a pinch runner, Jonah Cox. And he pulled a full Roger Dorn in Major League 2 and told him, pinch runner, no. And he started standing there.
Well, he didn't pull the full Dorn.
Well, true, but
because Dorn, remember, stayed on base, started to stretch with the guy.
But it kind of reminded you of Major League 2 when this happened, and then he waves him off. And
Roger Dorn.
They asked Tony,
third baseman.
They asked Tony Vitello after the game about it, and he said, are you going to talk to Rafi? He goes, no, we talk every day, and he pretty much like stood up for him. And then Buster today said, yeah, I haven't talked to Rafi, but he's going to be in the lineup tonight, and he's playing first base.
When Rafi came back to the dugout, someone tried to pat him, and he dodged the pat. It's bad. Everything's bad, right? Chapman stinks.
He's 0 for his last 18, I think.
Matt Chapman is hitless in his last 19 with 8 strikeouts.
Shortchanged him.
So, he had that big series in Chicago. He's back. Willie Adames. It's just the money that they've given out is a disaster. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy coming in here and I like seeing them miserable. Larry Bird once said, after beating the Lakers in the Forum, Larry Bird sat on the bus, the Celtics bus, and Magic Johnson, this is before they became friends, and Magic Johnson came out of the Forum, signed some autographs, and just looked miserable getting into his car. And Larry Bird said, suffer, baby, just suffer. It's a great interview on YouTube somewhere. And then, of course, Bird Magic became close. But it was about, actually, I think it was in his Hall of Fame speech he brought this up. He was like, suffer. When I come in here and I see the Giants, people suffering, I love all of them. They're good people. But the Giants suffer, baby. And I really don't know. I don't know what this relationship will be like long term. I think you and I got a real sense of Vegas does not care. They're not going to. There's just a reality. They're not going to care that we had a Bay Area rivalry against the Giants. They're not. Why should they? We're now moving to them. They're not going to care about, I don't want to say all of our Bay Area history, but they're not going to care a lot about it. They're going to care about some, but not all of it. And we're going to make our new history and grow our new roots. So I don't know what the relationship between the Giants and the A's will be like long term. This may be, because I don't know what the schedule is going to look like next year with the labor strife. I don't know. I mean, Giants and A's, if this is something that floats your boat, enjoy it, because this might be it. Because think about it. They're going to talk about really soon, they're going to talk about expansion. And there's a good chance the expansion city is going to be Salt Lake City. What borders Nevada?
Utah.
God, you are smart.
Yeah. I look at a map every once in a while.
Oh, God. That's why I got Cody's here. I'm not smart. He's the smart guy. So we're going to border each other. And I've always wondered, like, what are you going to do with Seattle? Because Seattle, they really don't have a rival, because I don't think Portland's going to get it. So they've always kind of mixed the Padres with the Mariners. They share a spring training home in Peoria, but no one cares about that. So we're down to a minute?
Yeah.
So I could see in the next couple years when we do rivalry weekend, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point that rivalry weekend will be Seattle and San Francisco.
Yeah, I could see that.
Two cities that are very similar to each other.
Yeah.
The look of them politically. I mean, Seattle and San Francisco are far more of a match than what Vegas and San Francisco will be.
Yeah, and I'll give this to you real quick before we go. The A's all-time against the Giants in interleague play, that's since 1997. I believe I have it on my sheet. I think it's 78 and 79.
They took 2 out of 3 from us. They have the one
78 and 79.
But give the all-time interleague.
This all-time interleague record. The A's are literally the definition of what the kids say is mid. 500, 327, and 327.
So Johnny Dasco didn't show up for Hot Take Tuesday.
That's correct. Now he said he'd do his best. He must have been busy chatting it up in the dugout.
Is Ken Korak in this series?
Yeah, he is. Yes.
Ken Korak's here, and he can't show up because he has 3 innings to do. You know what my hot take is? We're going to sweep the Giants and not give up a home run in 3 days.
Oh, that is good. You know what mine was? Gage Jump's going to have a complete game shutout at Oracle Park tomorrow.
That's
night.
Beyond a hot take.
That's a bold prediction.
That's a bold prediction, Cotton. That's like Harry Houdini, right?
No, I phrased that wrong because I hate when people. He's going to have a shutout tomorrow night. It's at Oracle Park.
No, you have to say complete game.
Either way, shutout.
He has to pitch all 9 innings, like 9 innings.
Yes.
You're saying Gage Jump will pitch 9 innings?
He'll be the first A's lefty to do it since I believe have a complete game.
Cole Irvin.
Sean Manaea was the last guy having.
Cole Irvin never went a complete.
I don't think so.
Johnny's showing up at the end of the show.
That's too late. We got to go.
Weak, Johnny Dasco. Weak. You owe us. Thank you, Rich Aurilia, for showing up. Also, Fran Riordan was a great show. We're back tomorrow, same time.
Yep, same time, 4:30.
So Johnny D and Ken Korak next from Oracle Park, and Shooty Babbitt and I will be back at 6 o'clock for A's Cast. See everybody tomorrow.
It's a hit. Folsom Lake Ford has stepped up again, winning the Triple Crown Award, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, now 8 years in a row. Folsom Lake Ford is a top sales leader in the U.S., along with being top in customer satisfaction, in sales, service, and finance. Now that's a home run. Don't miss the huge savings on your favorite models at your truck headquarters. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.